Hello, my friends, and welcome to Beyond the Bell, the Ring of Honor Women's Championship Tournament recap and analysis show on Women's Division Wednesday. I'm your host, Alyssa Marino, and welcome back to First Lady of Professional Wrestling, ROH Board of Directors member, Maria Kanellis-Bennett.
Hello.
So for many across the wrestling world, this has been a very trying week. So we are doing our best to cover the ups, the downs, and everything in between, my friends. Last week, the wrestling world said farewell to Daphne Shannon Spruill. The Scream Queen was a former WCW Cruiserweight champion who made her way across the landscape of pro wrestling, adding her unique touch and energy everywhere she went. TNA, Shimmer, WCW, Ring of Honor, and many independent companies, including Shimmer and Shine. Spruill worked as a wrestler, manager, and a valet over the course of her 16-year career. She was considered really revolutionary, like a breath of fresh air, truly unique, and standing out as being pleasantly different in the landscape of pro wrestling at the time.
She made it so misfits could be misfits, unapologetically. And I think the thing that really has gotten to me has been how she inspired the entire wrestling world and how just it has affected everyone in this past week. And I think the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway is she was not alone. She had lots and lots of people that loved her. And no matter what I say, it's not going to be enough. I do know that Ring of Honor is going to be paying tribute to her at the pay-per-view on Sunday. And I'd also like to have an open forum for anybody that wants to just come on and talk sometime in the next week, so that the people that loved her can give her a voice at the end and can laugh and cry and be together in a different way. So I think that's the best that we can do, is to continue to live in her memories.
I completely agree. There were so many beautiful tributes, stories, and people sharing memories, and we want to, keep that up. It was it was across all of social media, across every wrestling promotion. It brought so many people together, and my friends, we want you to know that you are never alone. So taking care of your mental health is so important. So if you or a loved one is suffering, please reach out for support. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, it's open 24/7. 1-800-273-8255. We, of course, want to send our very best to Daphne's friends, family during this difficult time. And in the spirit of Daphne, we want to carry on. We want to keep celebrating the ever expanding accomplishments and opportunities for women in wrestling. And to do that, let's take a look at a women's division exclusive match featuring Quest for Gold finalists Miranda Alize and Rok-C facing Sumi Sakai and Chelsea Green.
Welcome everyone to this Women's Division Wednesday exclusive. Ian Riccaboni, Caprice Coleman, and the member of the Board of Directors, the First Lady of Wrestling, Maria Kanellis-Bennett. We're in store for a great tag team bout here in Philadelphia. Let's take it to Bobby Cruz.
This is a Women's Division Wednesday exclusive tag team match, 7-for-1 fall with a 20-minute time limit. Team number one, first, wrestling out of Houston, Texas, the Lucha Daddy, Miranda Alize.
Miranda Alize has been quite impressive in the women's division here, Maria. She's punched her ticket to the finals at Death Before Dishonor.
She is an incredible performer.
And Caprice, you have grown fond of Miranda Alize, but you picked this woman as your pick to win the whole thing coming up at Death Before Dishonor.
Came in as an underdog, has been literally undefeated since, shocking the world in under 21. Ready to go.
Her partner, wrestling out of Laredo, Texas, the Prodigy, Rok-C.
It wasn't a surprise to me that Rok-C won her first round match. I thought that was prime for an upset, Maria. It did shock me when she defeated Quinn McKay in the next round.
I'm sorry that happened. I know you're very sad about it.
I'm not, because
Have you recovered?
Well, we've uncovered a hidden gem here in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
From Houston, Texas, Rok-C, training under Booker T. You know, really spreading her wings and flying here, flourishing. Both of these women, and we will see them. One of them will become the women's division champion, but it's almost like champions versus all-stars.
Absolutely.
We just saw the all-star team. Now we're going to take a look at two former champions as we go back to Bobby Cruz.
Their opponents. First, representing out of the Jersey Shore, Japan, Sumi Sakai.
Sumi Sakai, of course, was a women's division champion when the title was originally active, and now that we've reactivated it, she was shocked in the first round by Rok-C.
Did somebody get married? Oh, no.
Well. And we are seeing a woman that we've long awaited here in Ring of Honor, the hot mess.
Her partner, representing out of Victoria, British Columbia, Chelsea Green.
Real international affair here. Chelsea Green, Sumi Sakai. Across the ring from two young women from American Southwest. But Chelsea Green, her accomplishments speak for themselves. 2 times over an Impact champion, headlining in the NWA, and now here in Ring of Honor. This is a woman of her stature can write her own ticket.
Yeah, most definitely. And after all those years, I mean, I feel like Chelsea has just grown and grown and grown as a wrestler.
It's amazing when you have choices, and your choices to be right here in Ring of Honor.
Absolutely. And we're seeing Rok-C and Miranda on the left. Interesting to note, this is the first time in front of a live crowd for Rok-C and Miranda Alize ahead of their final bout. Of course, we did see them in a tag team bout, Chelsea Green and Willow. And Willow, a great prospect. Chelsea Green going into her repertoire and her Rolodex to get Sumi on her side.
You know, notice something though with Rok-C and Alize though, they're being friends now, but they're going to be going against each other. Yeah, and like, how well is that going to work? Because it has to sit in the back of your head. Like, this will be my opponent.
Sunday night, one of these women is going to become one of the champion here in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, but one of the things that you can do when you team up with another person is watch them work and see how they are in the ring. And you can do that so much better when you're on the same team than you can when you're on opposite ends.
See a honorable tie-up here. Sumi with the side headlock takeover, looking for that cross arm breaker. And very quickly, Miranda Alize, the Lucha baddie.
Was Sumi just biting her?
It certainly looked like it.
That is something that Miranda does from time to time.
Right. And Caprice knows. Caprice, you and I have called plenty of Sumi Sakai matches. She puts on that warm exterior, but not afraid to bite.
It should do exactly what she needs to do. And it's so fun watching, like, even with the crowd back, the way Sumi's reacting to it, man, because she missed the crowd so much.
Looking for a hip toss exchange there. Up and over. Miranda Alize ducks the right off the ropes. Head scissor, takeover, and Sakai's in trouble into the corner early here. The historic 2300 Arena. So excited to be back here for Death Before Dishonor, coming your way this Sunday. You can watch it on pay-per-view on Honor Club. Up and over, Alize to the apron here. Oh, shoulder to the midsection. Wow. Oh, and counter, great counter by Sumi.
Nice.
2, caught her and caught the ankle, and that's why Sakai's dangerous here.
Well, there's a lot of things a lot of these younger athletes do. They try their high-risk maneuvers that a veteran like Sumi will catch you on.
And now Sumi to the outside, Miranda Alize looking to come through the bow. Got all of that one and wipes out Sumi. And maybe we should have seen this coming. Miranda, and no one saw that coming. Nobody saw that coming.
A little bit, anything you could do, I could do better.
And Chelsea Green, wait a minute, Rok-C. Wow! No.
What's Sumi doing?
I don't know. I can take a guess, though.
And Sumi!
I think that'll sell. We can put that on T-shirts.
Sumi Sakai The fans didn't forget about Sumi.
Man, I can see a stretched out on a sneaker like that. That'd be cool, man.
Believe I can fly.
That was a beautiful pose,
yeah.
as she's flying through the air.
Just a 1 count there. It's going to take more than that to put away one of the finalists in the tournament to crown the women's division champion, Sumi Sakai. Oh, just plants her right down, maintains the ankles, and now grapevining the legs here, has the legs trapped, and Sumi is mercurial in what she is doing
now
here.
That pull is past the knees and into the thighs. It's very tight. She has to be flexible to do that, but it's pulling against the hips as well. There's nowhere for her to go.
That's exhausting.
Yeah.
Someone sitting on you is just, that is exhausting.
And looking to get to the ropes, but she's in the wrong part of town here. Look at Chelsea Green, able to just say whatever she wants and do whatever she wants here.
She's trying to Charlie horse that leg to break free.
Ooh. Headbutt. And does she have the awareness? Sumi knew to come back to her corner, and she does. It's going to be Rok-C and Chelsea Green. A one-on-one dream match if I've ever heard one. Standing switch here. Trying to break the wrist, she doesn't. Instead, a high angle takedown, step over. You do a maestro cradle. 1, 2.
She's pulling back.
Chelsea did tell me she was very excited to get in the ring with Rok-C.
1, 2. We saw them mix it up just a little bit in their match on night 2 of Glory by Honor. And there's another counter. 2. Great exchange here. Both women can only get 2.
There's a confidence that Rok-C has. Just like that right there. She's going against a champion, and she's so young, but she has a confidence to where it's like, no, you're in here with me. Look at that.
Ooh.
That's what I'm talking about. To be so young and to have that much confidence is unreal, Riccaboni.
Look at that, lucha style, takedown.
Beautiful.
Oh, standing moonsault out of the way. Chelsea Green scouted that perfectly. Knew that was part of Rok-C's repertoire. Ripcord elbow. Elbow driven into the jaw. Down to one knee.
Oh,
there you go.
Chelsea giving it right back.
Catches the wrist. Oh, plants her down, swinging STO.
See, that shows she has no intimidation factor. Back to the knees. That's the stuff that's needed.
2 moonsault knees and just a 2 count there.
I tell you, she's so much before her time. She's so young in this game, but she's a veteran already with those instincts.
Been wrestling since she's been 13 years old. Alize wrestling since she was a teenager as well. And Alize come charging in. The Lucha Baddie and Rok-C on the same page. Just a few days away from Death Before Dishonor.
She swept her legs out from under her and didn't even look back. She knew what was going on.
Boots to the face.
These guys work so well together.
Oh! Nobody home there, and it's Alize. Long blower. And Alize trying to hold on to block it, but it was too much from Green. Oh!
It's a curb stomp.
Ate all of that.
Hooks the leg. 1, 2.
Nice ring awareness there.
Great cover by Green, locking the hand and forearm there, but the ring awareness, the difference tag made.
I'm so impressed with the veteran instincts these young people have, like knowing where you are in the ring enough to grab the ropes. Little simple things like that puts you ahead of the game.
But I'll tell you what, we mentioned the up-and-coming stars. We forget how new to the game Chelsea Green is as well. When we talk about up-and-coming stars, just because their profile is higher than the others doesn't mean that she has reached her total greatness yet either. She goes off the ropes,
and I feel like it's almost a restart for Chelsea.
2. She has been doing her best. We've seen her all over the place. And you can write your ticket when you're as good as Green is. Cover 2.
Not enough of a cover and more of a pose there, I think.
Alize in trouble here as the 2300 arena trying to will life back into Alize. Now back up to her feet. Shot to the midsection here. Spins out, kick to the midsection. Alize!
It's going to give Alize the time she needs. I want to see what type of person she is. Is she going to try to fix things herself, or she's going to realize she needs to make a tag and go to take it? This can make or break a match right here. If she goes for a tag, it's a good thing. If she doesn't, I feel like they're going to lose.
And both partners with their hands outstretched, tag ropes in hand. And it's Chelsea Green, that long extended reach makes the tag, but it's Alize with the agility, and now Rok-C is in. Sumi and Rok-C, the legal women. Rok-C takes down Green and Sakai. Charging in, but a clothesline sends Green down. A clothesline sends Sumi down, and it's Rok-C, a house of fire. Flying head scissor. Looking for a side Russian leg sweep. What the world? Plants both. Now looking for the cover. 1, 2, 3. 2 count there.
The first time in a match where both people were injured at the same time. Sumi had to kick out of that to stay in the game.
Front face lock here, Rok-C trying to maintain control against the veteran Sakai. Sakai sends her back into her own corner. Great blind tag there by Alize, helping her partner out, up and over. Oh, God! Knee connects, Saito suplex.
That could do it right there, Riccaboni.
2 and
wow!
Rok-C just in the nick of time.
Rok-C had to break that. That knee came out of nowhere. She's still glassy-eyed.
Ooh.
Oh, speaking of glassy eyes.
Yeah, partners into one another, ripcord. Cutter plants her.
Sumi is dead center in the ring.
Uh-oh. Caprice, bring everybody inside. Miranda Alize connects on a drive-by. Cover 2. Alize has pinned Sakai.
The winners of this match, the team Miranda Alize and Rok-C.
No sign of disrespect.
Yeah.
No sign of tension.
But definitely the team of fire and ice right there. And I'm wondering if we're going to see that fire and that ice again.
But
you've got cool, calm, and collected, and you got straight fire.
And this is honor right here, respect right here. They know what's going on, but they say, let's get through this, and we'll wrestle later.
Well,
in
this very building this Sunday night, this very building, the 2300 Arena, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, it will either be Miranda Alize or Rok-C leaving Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, the Ring of Honor Women's Division Champion. And I can't wait. We hope you join us. For Maria Kanellis-Bennett, Caprice Coleman, I'm Ian Riccaboni. Happy wrestling, everybody.
That was quite a match, Maria.
It was quite a match. You know what got to me the most about that match was the fact that Rok-C and Miranda were such good partners. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's the fact that they were trying to read each other out there, you know, see what each other's strategy was, or maybe they're just really good competitors and they want this match on Sunday to be incredibly fair. So when whoever is crowned the champion is the real champ, is the champ that is undisputed in that moment. You know, I love this match. Chelsea is, I just feel like all of a sudden the chains were taken off and she just went out there and was just like, yep, I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to have a real good time in this match.
Chelsea is no holds barred, and she is just going full force and releasing, I think, all of this pent up energy just to the world, to her opponents, to Sumi, like to everyone. And one of the things too, to touch back on the chemistry of Miranda and Rok-C as a tag team, we even saw that when it was Chelsea and Willow facing the 2 finalists. So it's a very interesting dynamic that this chemistry has been so prolonged. So okay,
they weren't competitors. Possibly they could be friends. We'll see.
We shall see. But I mean, we've seen how Miranda handles her friends that have been in this competition with her. So
come on.
I'm just saying, and I'm not saying
title.
Exactly, but I'm saying when the title is on the line, friendships are kind of like. And it's really, as Miranda has said, it's all about the business. So, understandably so. But over the weekend on ROH TV, the final 4 became the final 2, as we've alluded to, with Miranda and Rok-C advancing in the quest for gold. And they will be going on to compete for the Women's World Championship this Sunday, September 12th, at Death Before Dishonor. To get a little bit of deeper insight into the semifinal matches we saw over the weekend, do we have the Afrotech with us? Do we have Trishadora yet?
Hello.
We do.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I just did, a little gentle reset, so I'm feeling all right. All right.
Good. Well, I mean, obviously, we saw you went through such a hard-fought battle against the Lucha Baddie, and I'm glad you said that you did a reset. I know that you are very much a student of the game. So now that a little bit of time has passed, how have you been able to kind of go back and reflect on your performance throughout the tournament?
you know, I just kind of go back and just run things over in my mind and just reflect about how I felt. You know, a lot of the times you can't really remember every single thing that you did or every single thing that was said, but you do remember how you feel. And I'm trying not to allow this loss to jade me or, you know, to make me feel like I'm any less of a competitor. You know, I'm still trying to hold my head up high. You know, it's been rough. It's just been a little rough. That's all.
And obviously it's not, of course, easy, and this isn't how you would have, you know, wanted things to have gone, but how does it feel to have come so far in the quest for gold amidst all these other really talented competitors?
You know, that's been really awesome, you know, to be seen as like a peer. You know, a lot of these women I've been running alongside, you know, on the independent circuit with. So it was really, really nice to be considered a peer and to stand next to them. Very, very happy to have done that. Very happy to have been a part of this tournament.
Yeah, Trish, I think we've grown with you along the tournament. I met you a while ago now, and it's like throughout, you know, coming in and doing the matches on Women's Division Wednesday, and you were growing then, and then when the tournament began and how you've grown throughout, not only here in Ring of Honor, but around the country, you are having these amazing matches. And so maybe you didn't get the finish that you wanted of this tournament for you. But maybe this is just one piece of the puzzle. Maybe this is just one step to where you are going. Because what you are showing out there in the world right now is that you are an incredible competitor. And I really think that this is just the beginning for you, not only in Ring of Honor, but anywhere you wrestle.
Yes, I do appreciate that. I do feel that as well. It's been such an interesting journey. So many things have just changed throughout these months. And I'm very happy to have finally been able to feel like I can be open about these things. It's such a kismet kind of situation. It feels so like this is all happening at such the right time. So this timing is not lost on me at all. And I know this is just the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of just the beginning and all of these incredible accolades to add to the list, we saw recently released the 2021 BW 500 with 500 of the best Black pro wrestlers from all over the world. And who was number one but Trishadora? I mean, wow, what does that mean to you? Like, what an incredible accomplishment.
Yeah, you know, I couldn't believe it. I saw the list and I was like, what? That's so cool. You know, it's so important to have lists like these, you know, and to highlight so many individuals, so many amazing peers that I've trained with over the past like 5 years or so. And even before then, you know, it's just really cool to see. It's cool to see all those names there. It's cool to see my friends get recognition. It feels really, really good.
And he's placed above Bobby Lashley. Huh.
I mean, wow.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
It's so wild. Like, it's an incredible list. And I can't speak for myself because I'm not in your situation or in your position, but like, I think being recognized is really cool and to be seen. And for other people like you to see you doing what you're doing and not having to be at WWE or AEW or anywhere else, but to still be seen. And even though you didn't win your match against Miranda, even though you didn't win the championship, I feel like that should be something you can kind of hang your hat on and really focus on the fact that you are still being seen. Even though you did not win here, people see you and people are finding inspiration in you. So thank you for that because you inspire me. And I can't wait to see more from you in Ring of Honor.
Thank you. I'm very, very appreciative. Thank you very much.
Now speaking of Ring of Honor, I do have a little bit of a question. So within Ring of Honor, Trish, you've only lost twice, and it was both times to Miranda Alize. Do you have any kind of advice that you might give to Rok-C ahead of the finals? Something she might watch out for with the Lucha Baddies?
Can probably watch out for the right hook, really.
Yeah.
Shoot, you can watch out for that. I just gotta say, just stay quick, stay on her. Don't let her leave your sight for too long, Just stay sharp. I'm definitely rooting for both competitors, but I'm gently hoping that Rok-C pulls out the W. Very gently,
That's okay. That's understandable.
As Rok-C herself is often very diplomatic. That is a great way to say it, gently hoping. Well, as we've said, we definitely hope and are sure that we have not seen the last of Trishadora here. And we know we'll see you again very soon, but what is next for Trishadora?
Well, what's next is just continuing to just reset, taking time off, visiting my family, just making sure that those needs are met too. Just trying to keep that balance with things being so busy. So that's going to be my focus for the next couple of weeks, trying to stay as emotionally and mentally sharp as physically. So
love that. It's a great balance to have, and can't wait to see more of you very, very soon, Trish.
Yes, thank you both.
Take care. What just an awesome soul, she just has such a great presence, such a great vibe to her. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, if I knew nothing about wrestling or wasn't in this industry, I think I'd still want to hang out with her just to be around her, because she does have the presence. It just feels good.
Now, another thing that, obviously, of course, you always stay very neutral, but something that might feel good was seeing Rok-C advance over Angelina Love in the finals. You don't have to answer that. You don't have to say anything. Got it. But we did.
I'll say something. I will say something. So when I first started on this journey and starting to, scout all the different women, my daughter really liked Rok-C. And I don't know if it's because Rok-C's young and just has that vibe. But my daughter really liked Rok-C. And so seeing Rok-C win was very exciting for her.
Well, that's a really special moment. That's really cool. Okay, so you don't have to take any kind of pleasure in that, but your daughter did. So that's really nice. And we had talked about it. Lenny Leonard and I had discussed the idea of, was Rok-C actually going to kind of target the injured arm of Angelina? And I think that she was definitely trying to stay on the straight and narrow, and I think that eventually she did not necessarily give in, but she took the opportunity where it was, and I think that played a huge role in her victory and into the fact that she is going to be in the finals of the women's tournament. Did you have any insight that you wanted to share about that match with us, Maria?
So I think that Rok-C at the end of the day is trying to win, and when you enter a match, it doesn't matter who your opponent is. You have to use everything you've got to defeat your opponent. And unfortunately, or fortunately for Rock, Angelina was injured. And being injured on top of having the last year and a half of not having as many matches because of COVID and the pandemic, brought Angelina down a little bit to Rok-C's level. And I think Rok-C is tremendous. She's an incredible wrestler. But at the same time, she doesn't have the experience of an Angelina. So going into this match, there were many things that were against Angelina. She had an injury. She had that crazy match with Max. And so it's in her mind, what did that do? Preparing for this, and whenever you got an injury, you think about it all the time. And then not only that, but she hasn't had as many matches as Rok-C has in the last year. So if it was, if everyone was 100%, if Angelina was 100%, and if Rok-C was 100%, I don't know if you get the same finish. But at the end of the day, that's why there's a tournament. It is every single piece of the tournament that leads to that finish, whatever that finish is of the tournament, whoever becomes champion, it's because of all those adversities along the way. And Rok-C has not had an easy way. She first faced Sumi, and Sumi on experience alone has more than Angelina does. So it's like Rok-C has been able to overcome all of these adversities. And it says something about her. It really does. And we'll see what that ends up, what ends up happening on Sunday.
Ooh, I can't wait. And that kind of idea just gives me absolute chills at seeing how far both competitors have come in this tournament, in their careers. And I'm just I'm downright giddy to see what happens next. But as my friends at home know, here on Beyond the Bells, we do like to cover a bit of women's wrestling news. So let's tackle some of the headlines. This week's ROH Strong podcast features Quest for Gold finalist Miranda Alize. So be sure to give that a listen wherever you get your podcast. She talks a bit more about her training, her career, the ups and downs of the past year. So it's a very good listen. Next weekend on September 19th, WWR Plus is partnering with Beyond to present Borscht at the Beach, a full afternoon of wrestling at Patty's Beach in Rhode Island. And just a few of the talents who are slated to be in action: Quest for Gold competitors Trishadora and Willow, ROH World Tag Team Champion Chris Dickinson, Rhett Titus, Wheeler Yuta, Killer Kelly, Legit Layla Hirsch, Masha Slamovich, plus so many more. This is going to be a very stacked event, so be sure that you are checking that out. And now we touched on it briefly on last week's Beyond the Bells, but NWA Empower, we're going to go back to Empower because Empower gave us the first NWA Women's Tag Team Champions in 37 years. So without further ado, I think I'd love to just chat with them a little bit. Let's bring on Allison Kay and Marty Bell, the Hex.
Hello.
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 Oh my gosh.
Guys, look at your shirts. You're so
look at, I love this. This is tag team cohesion. This is so. First and foremost, congratulations to you both. What an incredible achievement! Holy moly!
Thank you. It's funny
Okay.
how many people have been so surprised at how coordinated we've been over the past week. Like all of our outfits, when we went to signings, they all match, and people are like, "You match. You're coordinated." I'm like, "Yes, we're a team. That's what you do when you're a team."
Like, come on, let's get real. So obviously you're a week or so removed from Empower, but I gotta ask, are the tingles still there? Are you still? Ooh.
I feel like it hasn't really hit me yet. I don't know about you, AK, but I feel like it still doesn't feel 100% real yet. But yeah, definitely still super excited and still in awe about that accomplishment that we just did. And the most important thing is that we did it together.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree. I feel like sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, the gravity of it is hitting me. Like, oh, this is a really big deal. And then other times I don't really realize how big of a deal it is. And then it hits me again. But also I'm sitting here with. So I'm like,
pretty, very pretty.
Gorgeous.
They are beautiful.
The crazy thing is, they matched our gear on the pay-per-view, and that was just a coincidence.
Yeah.
Swear on everything. When they were revealed to us on the pay-per-view, and we had black gear with like that what do you call it?
Translucent. Not translucent. It was iridescent. It was like an iridescent green.
Blue. Same that matched our gear. It was crazy.
It's crazy because Allison's gear is normally just black, or it's not usually very bright colors, and mine usually is a lot of bright colors. So when we're getting ready to get gear for this made, we were like, well, maybe we can do it was actually my gear maker. The guy who made our gear had the idea. He said when he saw that green, it reminded him of like a potion or like a hex. So we're like, oh, okay, that sounds interesting. And it was just the right amount of color pop to make me happy, but not too much color to make Allison, a little nervous about it. So it was just meant to be. It's one of those things that you just look back on and you're like, oh, this was just meant to be.
And And that's true best frienddom as well. Like to know, okay, like I know what I like. I need to make sure that like my pal and my partner's on board with it and kind of cool. So that's really great that you guys can come to a compromise. That's really healthy. That's a very healthy friend relationship. I love that. So one of the things that has been discussed a lot regarding Empower is the idea of women elevating women, regardless of the company, regardless of the promotion. So what was the overall vibe with so many top talents from all over the pro wrestling scene in one building and at one event?
It was amazing. Everyone keeps saying magical to describe it, but it really was. It was a magical night, and the matches that we had were, I hate just saying amazing. I feel like it's so redundant, but I know, Marty, when you've been describing it too, you said the same thing. It's just like such a magical night, and everyone just meshed and vibed, and yes.
I think it's just, we talk about women's empowerment. We talk about, sisters standing together, but this was like the ultimate test of that. You had representatives from obviously NWA, you had, Impact girls, you had AEW girls. We got to the finals with 2 girls from AEW who went out there and killed it with us. And I think it was just such an amazing experience. And like you said, it feels like amazing is such a small word for what we really felt that night. And we continue to feel, and how thankful we are of everybody who came in. There were no egos. Everybody put one goal in mind, and we worked towards that goal, and it was to make Empower not just a sold out show, but we were trending number 2 on Twitter at one point, even trending number 1. And I think it's just a great example. We had so many, women reaching out to us, and men too, just telling us what a great wrestling show it was. It wasn't just a good, that was a cool, women's show. It was just an amazing wrestling show. And I think it just showed what can happen when we all work together. And hopefully there's something that continues to happen in the very near future.
Mm-hmm. And it was crazy because it feels like it's not often that all of the feedback is that a pay-per-view was just solid from top to bottom, like every single match just hit, just on point, everything. And the feedback that we got was that this pay-per-view overall was just, it encompassed wrestling, period, not just for women. At the very end, they had Chelsea holding up the sign that said, what did it say? It's not just women's wrestling, it's professional wrestling. This is professional wrestling. And it was, I'm getting chills right now. It was just such an amazing feeling to be a part of that. And to have such a special moment with my best friend on that pay-per-view is something I will never forget. And so many people reached out to us, fans, wrestlers alike, just telling us that that was a moment, that we created a moment. And that's what we live for in this business, right? It's creating those moments.
For sure.
And you talked about this being like, of course, a moment in history. But I'm curious, what do the two of you want the Hexes' reign as NWA Women's Tag Team Champions to mean for the future, for future generations?
Well, besides it being very, very long and never ending, besides that, of course, we talked about this so many times. We don't want this to be known as a world title in name only. We want to take this title all over the world. We want to go to Japan. We want to go to Mexico, to the UK, Canada. Wherever there is wrestling, we want to take this there. We want to continue to make women's professional wrestling, women's tag team wrestling, a marquee, event and a match you can't miss. And we want to keep working with other companies and show like what the sisterhood really is all about.
Mm-hmm.
I love that too. I feel like you really take these titles that have, been vacant for 37 years and infused a real new life into them and intention, which I think that is one of the most important things. You talk about how important it is that the two of you did this together. So I really want to know just kind of where did the journey start for the two of you as a tag team, for those that don't know?
Well, as a tag team, I mean, we've only been tagging. So Empower was our 3rd and 4th tag match ever. We technically started our tag team during the pandemic. We just decided like, we're going to be a tag team. We're going to start tagging. But we've been close friends, best friends for what, like probably 5 years. We've known each other for 10, more than 10 now. But yes, actually tagging people I think that's why people were also surprised. They're like, oh, you've only been tagging this short of time? Yes, because they associate us together, not realizing we actually haven't tagged until our first tag match was October of 2020. So
not even a year. But I do think a lot of people do get confused or, think that we've been a team for so long because we do so much together. Mickey even was like, oh, you guys live together, right? And I've had so many promoters be like, oh, you guys live together, or you must live in Detroit. And I'm like, no, we've never lived in the same place. We're just together all the time because for us, our friendship extends outside of wrestling. I'm sure you ladies know, you have so many friends that are your wrestling friends, and you see them at wrestling events, and it's awesome to see them. Our friendship extends beyond that. She's a part of my family. I'm a part of hers. Mm-hmm. If I have any family event to go to and I need a +1, I know I'm like, hey, AK, can you? Yep, cool. And there's so many times that we've even talked about it. We don't even have to, I just have to tell her, hey, we're going to do this date. Cool. I'm in. We just know that about each other. Man, I wish that for everybody to have a friend like that just know they're down to ride no matter what the situation is.
I think that's so great. I think that the relationships, especially between women in this industry right now, are so strong. And I just, constantly reaching out to people about random stuff too. Like they're friends beyond wrestling. And that, I don't know. Those are the friendships that last forever when we're old and our outfits don't fit so well anymore. We can still laugh about way back when our boobs were actually up here and not way down here. You guys are amazing. And I think that the fact that your friendship is so strong is what's going to make you such a powerful tag team. I hope we see those titles on Ring of Honor very soon because they're so beautiful and they need to be defended everywhere. And I think that a show like Empower with all the different women coming together really shows that it works. Even though people like to say that it won't, it does work. It trends, it sells out arenas, and stars are created. And one of the things that I like to say about women's championships is it's not a gender, it's a title. And that title means you're the best. And you guys definitely are the best.
Oh, thank you.
And truly, we should all be so lucky to have a friend as good as the two of you. So absolutely wonderful. We wish you all the best and hope to see those titles defended very soon. Is there anyone on your list? Anyone on the radar?
Who do you want to defend them against?
Yeah. Anyone?
People keep asking us that, and it's so hard to pick one team. And I don't remember what we kept saying and every interview.
Everyone and anyone. And like we said, any country, any promotion. I know Ring of Honor has some amazing women, and we would definitely be more than happy to step back into a Ring of Honor ring, and this time as champions. Neither one of us made it to the final of the women's championship, but we would not be against coming back.
Anybody gives Martel, she's this, hey.
She's my friend.
She's ordering coffee going, hey, I'll take that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Strong.
Actually, Allison and I, after we won the titles, did go do a shot at the Chase in our gear with our title because we just felt like in the spirit of wrestling at the Chase, it needed to be done.
Yes, we walked straight to the hotel bar in our gear and everything. With the titles, of course.
Of course. But yes, we felt like it needed to be done.
Oh, that's perfect. It's the piece de resistance. Come on. I love it. Well, we love the fact that you were able to chat with us. We hope that we can chat again soon. And thank you both for stopping by on Beyond the Bells.
Thank you, ladies. We'll see you very soon.
Sounds good. Oh, wonderful. Honestly, we should all be so lucky to have someone like Marty to AK and AK to Marty. Love this. Love their energy. So good. And I can't believe, I think it's because I'm so used to seeing them together that I had thought that they had a longer tag career, and I did not realize. That's just cohesion.
Four matches. That's it.
That is tag team cohesion that reaches beyond actual tag team wrestling.
For sure.
That's
I mean, I'm sure they know what it's going to do way before it actually happens. Mike and Matt, they had been friends for years before they tagged. And I think that just made that, work. And the Hardy Boys, they're brothers. So these major tag teams, I feel like it's that friendship. You have to know each other.
It's true. Well, speaking of more wrestling news, at AEW All Out over the weekend, we saw the debut of Ruby Soho in the Women's Casino Battle Royale. I screamed so loud, Maria. I screamed so loud.
I wish I was that cool. That's all I wish. I wish I was as cool as Ruby.
You're a different kind of cool. You're not runaway leather jacket kind of cool. You're boss lady cool. You're
not helping. You are not helping right now.
You're board of directors member cool. And that's a different that's a different kind of cool. You're still very cool, Maria. I promise you.
Okay, you know what? It's okay if I'm never as cool as Ruby, but I see her walk out, and I literally am like, that's who I want to be when I grow up. Someday,
right?
Grow up, I want to. What a great story! What a great vibe! The show was amazing, top to bottom. And this is why, sometimes wrestling kicks you in the teeth and really, really just makes you sad. But other times, wrestling just, I love wrestling. And I cannot wait till we crown our own women's champion, because I have loved this tournament. I have loved getting to work with all these women. Ruby was one of the ones that I had on my list that I would have loved to have in the tournament, but unfortunately her 90 days wasn't quite up. I just, right now I love wrestling. Because I just feel like there's been so many really good moments that, kind of make up for some of the bad.
It's true. There's definitely a feeling of excitement, I think, in the world of pro wrestling right now, from people who are sitting down to watch after years of not, folks that are checking out their first ever matches, and even 30 plus year enthusiasts, I think, can all echo the same statement about how fun and amazing it is to be a wrestling fan right now. There's
for sure.
And of course, obviously, one of the things you mentioned that we are very excited as fans for is this Sunday, September 12th, Death Before Dishonor. The Lucha baddie Miranda Alize and the prodigy Rok-C will be colliding. And from all the peaks and valleys, the twists and turns along this road, the quest for gold is reaching its conclusion. And we are going to crown a new women's world champion. Now, obviously, Maria, you don't do predictions. You don't give us strategies. So I think it's best we just hear from the finalists themselves. Let's bring on Lucha baddie Miranda Alize. Hello, Miranda.
Good evening to the Lucha baddie and the Lucha baddie only.
Well, Miranda, welcome to Beyond the Bells. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm really, really excited. My heart's beating really, really fast.
I love it too. So I wanted to ask, obviously you had a very demanding match with Trish, and now you're looking forward into the finals. So is it excitement? Is there any kind of, what's going through your mind right now?
I think it's just excitement. I don't have any nerves or anything. I'm kind of really, really calm and chill about it all, but I'm super, super excited. I'm right here, looking at my match still, just replaying it and just ooh.
Now I was curious too, because you said on the ROH Strong podcast with Kevin Eck that you have nothing to prove to anybody. And I want to dig a little deeper. What do you feel like are the factors that have brought you to the point where you feel so confident and so sure of yourself?
I think it just comes down to experience and knowing who I am as a wrestler. I think a lot of girls in the tournament have experience also, but I think a lot of them still struggle as far as they don't know who they are as a wrestler. And I think that holds a lot of people back. I know who I am as a wrestler. I know exactly what I want to do. I have the experience. I've been everywhere. And this is just kind of like, this is just my moment. That's just how I'm looking at it pretty much.
Okay. Now, you've had some really strong showings throughout the Women's World Championship tournament. And I actually had a question I was glad I could actually talk to you about from your match against Nicole Savoy. You came to the ring with a crown on your head. And as far as I can remember, it was the first time I had seen that. Was there a significance to wearing the crown to the ring?
No, not for that specific match or anything like that. I kind of just, whenever I do like shows on the indies, I'll just kind of go with like my normal look. But when I do something that's like bigger or more important, I'll do something a little extra just to like elevate myself as a star. Like in my match with Alex, I wore boots. I never wear boots. I always just wear Jordans, but I'll just wear like, I wore the boots to elevate myself, and then I put the crown to elevate myself. So if I do like a bigger show or something that's like a little more important to me and more eyes are on me, I'll just do something different to make myself look like a superstar.
Ooh, then I'm very curious for this Sunday.
Oh. It's going to be
She's
a lot of fun.
I wasn't really going to do anything, but now I guess I want to. So what would this match mean to you if you won?
Oh, it would mean everything in the world. I think, like I said, I've been around for a while. I've been doing this for a while. I've been everywhere, but I haven't had my moment yet. Like, I haven't had my moment. So right now, winning this match is very, very important because I've been fighting for my moment. I've sat back and I've watched everybody have theirs, and I have to have mine, and I feel it in my heart. It's going to happen. So, I mean, Roxy's going to have to bring it.
What do you think it is? You know, is it timing? Is it the situation in the past that you haven't had that moment? What do you think it is that, you know, brings you to today?
I think it has a lot to do with timing. Like I said, the reason that I feel like I set myself apart from most girls, and like I said, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. Everybody has something to prove to somebody. I know who I am as a wrestler. Before I moved to Mexico, I did not know who I was as a wrestler. I was still trying to find myself. And it took me 9 years to find myself and find who I actually was as a wrestler and who I wanted to be. And who knows if this would have happened like 2 or 3 years ago before I moved to Mexico, I probably would have got eliminated in the first round because I didn't have my confidence because I didn't know who I was as a wrestler. So I think timing comes into play along with manifestation. And I'm not a patient person, but I've been pretty patient, or I've tried to be patient at least. But no, I think has a lot to do with everything. And I think that's like a big part of like the long road in wrestling is there's so much wrestling and there's so much for everybody to where there's this big road. Somebody has their time. Somebody has their time. Somebody has their time. And at some point, everybody's going to have their time, but this is my time.
It's always, you know, putting the work in and meeting timing, you know, and when opportunity meets talent. And, you know, that's kind of what this tournament has been about is, you know, who's ready at that moment. And that's a hard thing to capture. It really is. Like, people are always trying to capture those moments. And we'll see what happens on Sunday. But I have high hopes for both of you.
Oh, thank you.
So, Miranda, you and Rok-C, obviously, you said have teamed together before. You've beaten her, I believe, twice outside of Ring of Honor, and you said that you're kind of planning on business as usual. But is there any part of you that is maybe a little worried that you could be overconfident?
Not really, to be honest. I saw she tapped out Angelina Love. I wasn't expecting that, so I was like, oh. Okay, but no, at the end of the day, like, my confidence is still the same. I'm going into this match as any other match because that's how you have to be. If not, somebody's gonna run all over you. No, I think she's really, really talented. But it just is what it is. Like, I'm not worried about it at all. I actually have. The only time I teamed with her was at Ring of Honor, and then I had 2 singles matches with her. I don't do a lot of tag team stuff on the indies. I never really have. I do like a few, but I've only tagged with her at Ring of Honor, and that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with that. And I'm not looking down on her. I think she's extremely talented. I just think that she lacks a few things that I have, and that it just is what it is.
Lacks a few things that you had. You sent a very clear message after your match with Trishadora, and you said that you got to be more than a wrestler to be a champion. What does that statement mean? Like, what more do you have to be?
You have to have everything. You have to have the look. You have to have the character. You have to be a good wrestler, and you have to have the mic skills. And I have all of that. And like I said, I'm not worried about Rok-C too much because there's a few things that she lacks that I know they have. I'm not looking down on her. I think she's really talented. I think she's amazing. And I think she can be something special. But like I said, it takes more than being a good wrestler to be a champion.
So if you come out victorious against Rok-C this Sunday, how are you going to set the tone as the new Women's World Champion?
To be honest, I think I've already set that tone in my matches. I came in my first match. I beat Trishadora. Alex Gracia, we're friends, but I beat her. Maserati, I think I might have worked with her on the indies, but I beat her also. And then in this previous match, I tapped out Trishadora. So not only did I beat her once, but I beat her twice, and I tapped her out. She's the submission specialist. I think I've set the tone already. I'm not the champion yet, but you don't have to be the champion to be the face of the women's division.
I love it. I love that confidence. So happy. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm sure that it's going to be the match to watch on Sunday.
And I had a lot of fun wrestling Trish. I think she's my favorite person to wrestle there. I'd love to do it over and over and over. She's amazing.
Maria, getting the notepad.
The pencil.
Maria's always matchmaking. Well, obviously, we want to wish you very best of luck going into this Sunday, and we cannot wait to see how things go down.
Same.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wow. I mean, tons of confidence. Miranda said she has already set the tone, and she is not, obviously doesn't have the title, but has already set the tone as the face of the company. Wow.
So I always, so some people, the title overshadows them, and some people make the title. And you've seen that in reign after reign after reign of different individuals. And, how really it can make a company by, it going one of two ways. And I think Miranda's one of those that she would hold that title around and raise it up to the sky and declare it the greatest title of all titles of all the world because she's the champ. And she would be one that would stand outside the title, but by holding it so high in the air, for sure.
And thinking about the fact that Miranda's added different kind of accoutrement to her gear every match that's been special, maybe Miranda's waiting and the piece that she wants to add to her gear is going to be the title on Sunday. We just don't know.
Yeah, and I think too, like, she keeps talking about having, more than just wrestling. But is that going to distract her from the ultimate goal to out-wrestle Rok-C? And that's the only part that I'm nervous for with her is Rok-C is solid in the ring. So solid. And Miranda is too in the style that she brings. But will Rock out wrestle her in the end? because she's going to go back to basics. I know Rock is going to go back to basics. I've seen that type of wrestler over and over again, where they just wear their opponent down. And it's almost like that, holding Miranda tightly so she can't run around and get that quick flash speed. But then again, Rock is so dedicated to being calm. What happens when Miranda brings the fire? And will that get under her skin? So for me, it's fire and ice. This is, I called them that when they were tagging together, it's fire and ice. You see Miranda and she's straight fire. I called her the Flash on Twitter because that's what she is. But will that speed get the best of her in the end? Now, Rock, is she too calm? Does she need to bring it? Does she need to get a little crazy sometimes? I don't know. I think that, only time and the match on Sunday will tell.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned about Rok-C kind of getting that a little touch of the fire, because at the end of her match against Angelina, Miranda came out, approached ringside looking quite menacing, kind of yelling at Rok-C saying, "This is not your time." And I think Rok-C maybe looked a little innocently confused at first, but eventually she got right back on the ropes and she yelled right back. So I think that maybe there is a part of Rok-C. I don't know if Miranda's really getting under her skin, but I think that if Miranda's going to bring it, that Rok-C might rise to the occasion.
We'll have to see.
So obviously we talked to one half of this equation, but we cannot forget the prodigy Rok-C is going to be in the finals this Sunday. I mean, Maria, this is someone who at this point now has defeated two former Ring of Honor champions, 20+ year veterans in Sumi Sakai and Angelina Love. And I even wonder if the gravity of that achievement has really hit her.
I don't know. She reminds me so much of Deonna. And Deonna, along her journey, just continued to put one foot in front of the other and, competed in every match in the same way. And that was very technical and technically sound. And then, once she got her experience underneath her, she began winning and she continued to win. And we'll see if Rok-C goes the same path. She has great trainers. She's had fantastic matches here in Ring of Honor. And maybe that's enough to get her to step up in a title match. We'll see. I do think that at some point, not having that experience will catch up to her. And whether it is this Sunday or if it's sometime down the road, eventually Ring of Honor will go back to a full schedule where our veterans will be having matches consistently. And then it will be interesting to see where Rok-C lines up with the rest of the group.
True test. And it'll be interesting if Rok-C is holding the women's championship, how she will fare across the landscape at Ring of Honor. So this is also things to keep in mind. So with all of that, my friends at home, we want to make sure that you are keeping up on all of the latest news. So be sure that you are following Ring of Honor on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and The Experience on Facebook. And do not miss the finals in the Quest for Gold this Sunday at Death Before Dishonor, where we will be crowning a new Women's World Champion. Maria, thank you so much for putting this show together. Thank you so much for putting this tournament together. We are so excited.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I can't wait for Sunday.
And thank you, my friends, for tuning in for another Women's Division Wednesday from Maria Canales-Bennett on that side. I'm Alyssa Marino, and we will see you next time to chat about our new Women's World Champion, Beyond the Bells.
I saw a quote that said, "Nobody ever tells you about this part. The part where you're no longer a caterpillar, and you're not yet a butterfly. You don't know where you're going. All you know is that every fiber of your being is calling for transformation, for revolution. And I feel like that describes the Prodigy.
Rok-C, you think you can be the face of this women's division? What makes you so special amongst everybody else? You think that you can be a champion? Honey, you are in for a very rude awakening. You are very, very talented, and I won't take that away from you. But unfortunately, you are still a little girl who is not ready to handle grown women's business. Your star is right here. Your moneymaker is right here. And I will be the next Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
I could say that Miranda is a little overconfident. I feel as though that's the only thing that she says that she brings to the table. Confidence, 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 confidence. I don't feel as though confidence is enough to win a championship. I have a lot of confidence, but I work every single day to prove that I belong here and that I am going to win that championship.
I was born for this. I was made for this. And this is my destiny, and no one will stop me. Good luck. You're going to need it because you're swimming with the shark. And may the best woman win.
It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter where you're from. You can be anything you want to be. I'm the Prodigy, and I want to be Ring of Honor Women's Champion.